I'll be showing you over 50 tips and tricks you can use on Lotus to get better at playing the map. Some are agent specific, but might still be useful for everyone to know, and others are more general tricks. Almost every round someone try to go from A lobby into A main. To stop this, you can throw a raise nade and fade detain combo. You got him. You like that? You could replace the raise nade with one of these. And instead of the detain, you could also use a breach stun, Astral Gravity Well, or Sage Flow Orb. On C side, you can make a very strong one-way. For Viper, you can do a simple right click like this. And for Harby, you can do the same. With Cypher, you can do the same by throwing it like this. Or stand next to this box and aim as shown to create the same one-way.
Cage triggered.
Even Omen can do the same here, but make sure you place the smoke as low as possible to make the one-way effective. Another one is over here. This one isn't that useful if you're playing side, but can be very powerful if you're holding from waterfall. Putting a smoke here is a common play on A.
Cage triggered.
If someone throws this smoke at the door, don't worry, as it's actually too high to be a one-way. You can just simply crouch down to see them. As an Omen, you're able to just wait for the door to make a noise and then quickly throw this one-way up here. Or already have it set up. When it goes out, it's very powerful and very tough to push through. There are also many wallbang spots on the map, like this one at Waterfall. You can also combine this knowledge with this trick to get your Sova drone very high in the air.
Enemy mark.
If enemies often stand in this spot, you're able to wallbang them from A lobby. This of course works both ways. With high penetration weapons, you're also able to shoot through both doors. In case you only have a medium penetration weapon, you're also able to shoot through this. This is very limiting, but the Phantom is able to shoot through this.
Found them.
But for this wall, only high pen works. You're able to shoot through the boot bottom part over here with medium penetration weapons. If you have a high penetration weapon, you're able to shoot anywhere through this wall. And if you have a medium penetration weapon, you can still shoot through these parts.
Found.
You're also able to shoot through this corner over here. This of course works both ways. When an attack has raised, a useful lineup is this one. Go into this corner to start a round and aim for this branch. Then when the round starts, instantly use your boombot and follow it all the way in. This boombot will clear everything besides this corner. So just make sure you clear this box. If you're playing Raze or Jett and you're sure you're gonna die, and you have a weapon you don't want the enemies to get, you can quickly use a satchel or an updraft to get up here and drop your weapon. But there are of course many other obvious spots. If you're for example in a 1v1, make sure that you or your teammates are paying attention to the map, as no matter where you are, if one of the doors is getting used, it will show up on the map. Okay, I might be a little bit biased, but I do think Harbor could be a very useful agent on this map, as you need a lot of smoking abilities. With for example B-side having 3 entrances you want to smoke off already, only Brimstone would be able to do this in one go. But it would already cost Brimstone the use of all of his smokes. Meaning you aren't able to quickly use a smoke at the start of a round on A to gain control and then later on go to B. Playing an Omen or Astra with smokes that recharge can help, but it does mean you have to wait out the full timer until you can hit a site. Something you can do is have an agent like Sage help out a bit by blocking off certain entrances. But if you have Harbor in your team, he can for example throw a quick cascade like this at the start of the round, giving you a lot of space, maybe doing another one even later on, and then still have enough to go B, and then use his wall, block up all 3 entrances. Then you still have the cove left to, for example, help you plant. And a bit later your wall might have recharged again. If you've planted the spike on default on B, for any agent, just go sit in this corner to do an easy post-plant lineup. For Brimstone aim as shown, but don't worry, as it does not need to be pixel perfect. For Viper it's exactly the same. For Sova it's the same as well, as long as you use 2 bars.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
For Killjoy and KO instead, aim at this spot over here and then jump and throw at the same time. If you're playing from A-Link, it is possible to get your abilities on a spike like this. Personally I prefer to line myself up against this wall and just make sure there's a small part of this colored wall visible. And then just shoot any ability against it. This will always add on the spike. But with the slower traveling abilities you do need to add a little bit of a run into it. But the angle will work for any agent. If the spike is planted at either side of this box, you can use these lineups. Just go into A main and go into this corner over here. As Brimstone, this lineup needs to be perfect. The aim is shown using the HUD. The molly will land on top of the box and bounce against the roof, making sure it covers both sides. As Viper, you aim in the same area, but it's a bit more forgiving. Since this lineup lands on top of the box, it's very hard to block. As KO, this is also possible with a jump throw.
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out. Swarm grenade out.
Scanning ahead. Revealing area.
If you're Jett and you have your ultimate, plant the spike here. Then go to A link and wait for them to try to defuse the spike. You are able to double updraft and waterfall, but your timing needs to be perfect. So if possible, ask a Sage to wall you up. But the other way around this isn't necessary. So like a Sage would wall you up here so you don't have to use an updraft, then double updraft between this part and then you can see all the way from spawn.
Oh fuck, and you can only see the box just...
This one also requires a Sage wall. And if for any reason you needed to know this, you are able to stand on top of the rotating doors. You can drop down this silently. Instead of just slow walking off, make sure you crouch down before, then uncrouch midair to make no noise at all. On map Lotus, you're able to get to this plateau in A main by doing a crouch jump or by spamming your crouch button. This is especially useful for defenders in case there's a Sage wall here or if you just want to hop up. This might be completely useless, but I'll still show you. You go into one of these little boxes over here, and then walk into the wall like this, just get lower and lower. Eventually you'll be able to tap the spike. That's it, that's all there's to it. This is possible in quite a few spots. On C you can also do this by going on top of the ledge. By planting the spike as far away into this area as possible, you can play from C-link.
Spike planted.
You can either go into their spawn, peek like this, or you can hold from waterfall. If you want to play from A main, plant the spike here.
Spike planted.
This allows you to see the entire spike diffuse radius, as otherwise you might be able to diffuse from behind the corner.
Shot dart. That is
C can plant the spike in a weird spot by going up against his wall. Then plant the spike in this direction.
Spike planted.
It will go pretty far down these stairs. You can also do this on the other side.
Spike planted. Barrier created. You were a boulder.
This stage wall will give you a very strong angle to anyone holding from C main. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you found it useful, you can watch similar content on my channel.